Please rise. Who's going to lead us the Pledge of Allegiance? Back up.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Honor the Texas flag. Honor the Texas flag. I pledge allegiance to thee, Texas, one and indivisible. Thank you.
Is anybody here going to lead us in a prayer? No prayer today? Okay.
Father Frank.
Father Frank.
Father Jerry Frank, will you lead us in a prayer? Lord, we take this opportunity to ask you for the spirit of unity and peace among our commission, among our city, but a peace that's genuine and real and built on justice. May the deliberations build up justice and give them the courage to do the things that justice demands so that everybody's needs get met. Everybody's important. And give us a forgiving spirit so that when we get in one another's backs, we realize we're all brothers and sisters, and extend the hand of forgiveness, and with forgiveness and justice we'll have a true peace in our community, and we ask this especially for our city commission. Amen.
Amen.
Please be seated. Okay, no action is needed in executive session matters. I'm going to move item 4 up to the front because I think there's a lot of people for item 2 and 3 here. But before then, we'll take the public comments. Who signed up first, and would you let us know?
We have 14 public comments, Mayor.
14 public comments. Whew.
Don't speak.
Yes.
Don't speak, man.
Okay, we cut it down to 2 minutes apiece for the 14, okay? Would you please do 2 minutes apiece? Okay? That should be sufficient. And if you can keep it under 2 minutes, it would be appreciated, okay? Thank you. Who's the first one?
Sofia Esteve.
Please come forward.
2 minutes, Mayor.
Thank you for coming, and please state your name up here at the podium.
2 minutes or 3 minutes?
2 minutes. Because there's 14, there's a lot.
Hello, my name is I'm 17 years old and I'm speaking on behalf of the Camille Playhouse. Having participated heavily within the Camille, I've been able to witness firsthand the mark it has made on our community. For myself and for others who do not excel in sports and other such activities, it has given us a chance to thrive and express ourselves in a unique way. My experience there has given me a confidence that cannot have been found anywhere else, and that I will carry down whatever path I choose in the future. This theater has given me so much, and I can only hope that you will recognize the precious gift it is and give it the help it deserves. Thank you.
Thank you so much. And maybe everybody will follow your example. Thank you. Who's next?
Daniel Kranick.
Could you, before you come on up here, would you just read out the names and have them stand over here? That way they're ready to go.
You want me to read them
Yeah,
all?
would you read the names before
John
Daniel gets started?
Kinch.
Pardon me?
John Kinch.
John, would you please take a
Pearl
position?
Fry. Dave Lopez. Fernando Ruiz. Moises Gonzalez.
Here you go.
Gail Goodman. Francisco Cifuentes. Roman Perez. Robert Uresti. Alex Resendez. John Shergold. And Cesar Treviño.
Okay, Daniel, State your full name and go ahead.
Hello, my name is Daniel Kranick. I'm 18 years old, and I recently graduated from Gladys Porter High School, and I'm also speaking on behalf of the youth of the Camille Playhouse. Over the past 4 years, I've participated not only in main stage productions at the Camille Playhouse, but I've also been a director of the Summer Workshop for Kids. Every summer, over 200 of Brownsville's children welcome theater into their lives as they participate in the plays that we put on. Teaching at the Camille Playhouse has made me decide to change my career pathway from engineering to teaching theater. By applying the skills I've learned, I've been accepted into the University of Houston for theater. The Camille Playhouse has shown me that theater is more than just an extracurricular activity. I can make a life from it. It's more than just entertainment, as many people may think. By participating at the Camille Playhouse, children can learn the basic skills needed for their futures. By passing on, you will give other children the opportunities I've had. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Mr. Kinch?
My name is John Kinch, Mayor and City Commissioners. 42 years ago, built the Camille Playhouse in memory of Camille Leitner and gave it to Brownsville as a community theater for the use of Camille players to produce live theater for the people of Brownsville. Our theater is an asset to the city of Brownsville. We serve more than the local community. Tourists, visitors, professionals moving into this area look for cultural venues, the performing arts, museums. These people find our theater, frequent our performances, and continually comment on the outstanding quality of our shows directed by Ben Agreste, our artistic director. Our theater is self-supporting. There is no endowment fund. There are no fixed annual contributions from benefactors. We do not receive cash infusions from the SAMS Foundation. Each year, we start with nothing in the bank, and we end the year with most of it left. For the past years, the city has budgeted us about $21,000 from hotel-motel tax revenues, acknowledging that we do draw people to Brownsville, but the reality is that we need more help from you to meet our expenses and to grow with the city. No community theater can survive on box office alone. In addition to the 6 main shows of 3 musicals and 3 plays, be they drama or comedy, the Camille Playhouse is known for our children's workshop and our mid-year youth theater productions. The summer workshop, again under the direction of Ben Agreste, has enabled the children of Brownsville to participate in main musicals like Annie, Beauty and the Beast, Seussical the Musical, The Pirates of Penzance. These productions are made available for all to see for a $5 ticket fee. Mid-year performances are scheduled for school children to attend as school field trips. Attendance last season was 10,163 people. Quality theater for adults, wholesome entertainment and learning experiences for our youth. This is our product. This is our contribution to the city. We have lived up to the vision of the Sams family. But we need your financial support, be it in the form of the fee attached to a utility bill or a contribution from the general budget. We need your support to keep live theater living.
Thank you. Pearl? It's nice to know all the citizens that come up here.
Yes, right.
Be
It's also nice to know
gentle on me.
the mayor and the commission, the honorable mayor and commissioners. Thank you for affording us the opportunity to have some input at this meeting. My name is Paul Fry, and I'm here as a concerned citizen of Brownsville. There has been much discussion about the $2 fee imposed on all of us who are PUB customers, and there have been some questions raised by Mr. Troiani and others about the legality of that fee. My question is, if it is illegal to impose the fee because it is in violation of our city charter, then is it also not illegal to impose the current maintenance fee which we've been paying for the last 9 years? Just because something was done back then and nobody said anything about it does not make it right. Is the fee legally imposed or not? That's my question. If not, then I think we should have to quit paying for it. I realize that it pays for many city services, but it's not equitable because there are many people in Brownsville who are not served by PUB. Not everybody even uses PUB water, so how have they been paying all these years? I doubt that they have paid, and therefore if we're not all required to pay, then none of us should be required to pay. My suggestion then is that we take the excess tax or hotel tax and earmark them for new ambulances and personnel to man them, as well as for other worthy projects such as Camille Playhouse. I heard we have enough ambulances, what we need is trained personnel to operate them. I don't know if that's true. If it is, hire, trained people to man all these, ambulances. Our tax revenue has grown substantially over the past few years, and since revenue is not part of the budget, I want to know how it's being used. What happens to that extra revenue that was not budgeted? I also beg you to avoid increasing property taxes at all costs. We already have too high taxes. Maybe you could raise user fees.
Thank you, Paul.
Thank you.
David Lopez.
Good evening, Commissioner, Mayor. You all know me. I'm Dave Lopez with the Brownsville Firefighters. I'm the PAC chairman for our local, and I'm with the Brownsville Unions Coalition. Today's tragedy on Paredes Line Road is exactly what we're talking about. That call came in at 15:20 hours, 3:20. Medics arrived at 15:30, 10 minutes, a whole 10 minutes to get there. For a call like that, I know the guys tried their best to get there as fast as they could, but the bottom line is, we have 5 minutes. We need to be at the call within 5 minutes. And that was doubled today. On any given day, and almost every day, several times a day, the 911 operators will announce that all medic units are busy. I don't know if that happened when this call came in today, but I wouldn't be surprised. And this can go on for anywhere from 5 minutes to half an hour, 45 minutes. So if one of our loved ones go down, there's not an ambulance that's going to be able to respond from Brownsville. We have to wait for Port Isabel or Los Fresnos. The commission is supposed to look out for our community, and I understand that some misguided people are against the fee and more ambulances. But still, one day we're going to have to respond to the emergency, because everybody in this room is going to, one time or another, going to call the ambulance. We still have to do these things, and I wish that the commission would really think hard on it, because we have to protect these units anyway. That's all I got, except for to say that we have a petition circulating, and we're still going to try to get this done. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Mr. Reese.
Mr. Reyes, payaso, can't do that.
Do I look like a clown or what? Because he did that to me the other day. I'm not talking to you, I'm talking to him. Talking to him. Mr. Reese, here. Well, that's price of it. Mr. Reese, look, you're my friend, but if not, then we'll have to take you out. Now, please don't do that. Address, don't get personal, okay? Please, okay? This is not
Mayor, Commissioners, good afternoon.
Mr. Reese, we welcome you here.
Reese, I'm here to find out really what type of people or what kind of people live in this community. $2 for me, and I have a limited budget, is nothing. If it's for the purpose that Mr. Ahumada here, which deserves my respect, and I salute him, in trying to do something to care for these living beings. These animals are living beings. Have you held a little cat in your hands? Have you felt his heart palpitate? Have you seen how she cares for her litter? When she has those babies, how she protects them? I guarantee you there's some women that envy how these animals take care of their young ones. And we are destroying them. They have just as much right as we to live in this world. They are living beings. And we need to respect them. And we need to fix this matter immediately. $2 is no money. Let's find out where we're going to get them. We can get them from the piggy bank. Just save the change that you get from HEB every day and you have those $2. But remember, they're part of family. This is how I was brought up. The mascot was part of my family.
Thank you.
There was love and affection to and from. And what else? The most important thing of all is, you know what? Loyalty.
Mr. Reese, thank you very much. Appreciate it. Thank you very much. Mr. Gonzalez.
Good afternoon, Mayor, City Commissioners, and all the residents of Brownsville who are here today. I'm here to speak about the $2 fee that's going to be assessed to all PUB utilities, to people who receive the bills for PUB. I can certainly understand the projects and the goals that the mayor wants to understand. They're very noble, and they should be supported. Of course, with all projects and everything else, where are we going to get the money? It's always an issue. Certainly, $2 to our PUB bill. In my opinion, for me personally, I have no problem with that. I think it should be assessed, and I'll gladly pay it. The problem is, I certainly understand the viewpoint of the commissioners who maybe don't want to support that, and the fact being that you're out to look out for the best interests of the people. So I'm here to offer you maybe a median, and a median is for both of you, for both sides, different sides, to come to an agreement, is give the option to the person paying the bill, give them the option to opt out. Very simple. If they want to participate, if they're that adamant, if they don't want to participate, if they're that adamant and not paying those $2, very simple, give them the option, take you 2 minutes, write a letter, include it and say, I do not wish to participate. I think most people in Brownsville, most people here love our city. They want to work towards improving it. These are goals that should be supported, and if you give the people of Brownsville the opportunity to make the choice, I think you will be surprised that people will come to the plate and I'll support it. But you gave them that option. I think it'll be a medium for both sides, come to an agreement, and I think also the customers who participate will be happy because you give the power to the people. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. Please, come forward. Ms. Goodman.
Honorable Mayor and Commissioners, I'm Gail Goodman, and I'm here to speak in support of the $2 fee on the PUB bill. Brownsville has grown dramatically in exciting and wonderful ways over the years, from our museums, support our history of our city and our culture, to the different facilities that are now involved in supporting the arts and culture in our community, to our new animal shelter and the service it is to provide to our community, as well as the ambulances, the Camille Theater, the other things of that sort that are now part of daily life in Brownsville, Texas. These things contribute to the quality of life for every single person in our town. The young people that are speaking to you are elderly, whether you're rich, poor, or fall down in the middle. These are the things that an innovative, progressive city provides. And they all need the financial, consistent support of the community. And a $2 fee is a nominal, perhaps averages out to roughly $7 a day, to make this kind of funding consistently there for the wonderful things that we're building and need the support. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Ms. Goodman. Mr. Barrera, go ahead. Just name before you speak, if you would do that. Everybody knows it, but state it for the record.
Yeah, my name is Alberto Barrera. I have some good news. PUB votes to lower late charges. But yet, we come to the meeting the first week, and my support for you, Pedro Maya, is still strong. Just because one issue is not in my opinion, that doesn't mean that I have lost support for you, because in the long run, I think you'll do all right for the city. But now we're having a burden of $2 that is going to be lowered from 3 to 2. A lot of people say that $2 is not that big of a thing. And for us middle class, probably it's not that much. But ladies and gentlemen, first, we want some more. You have 5 ambulances, I understand. You might want another 5 more. But you know yourself that all 10 ambulances are not out doing their work at one time. After that, you're going to ask us tomorrow for more personnel for those ambulances. The following week, you'll ask us for more money for new buildings at different places. Ladies, gentlemen,
No more late.
Gentlemen, when will this stop? You see, you have to learn to live within your means. You have to be frugal, tacaña, or ron with our money. But this is not happening. Of course, we don't want to be like Matamoros with all the shaggy dogs running all over the place, the kids running around, they got disease and so forth. What I suggest, like somebody suggests, pick them up, find the owners, and fine them also for the upkeep at the dog pound.
Thank you, Mr. President. Mr. Cifuentes. Please state your name.
Good afternoon, my name is Francisco Cifuentes, I'm a resident of Brownsville, a voter and a taxpayer. Good afternoon, Mayor, Commissioners, ladies and gentlemen. Somebody stole my lines. They said something to the fact that, let those people who spoke on behalf of the $2 fee, let them, be volunteers in paying this fine. Don't impose it on me. My daughter, took up dancing, I had to pay. Everything that I have done it the hard way. And, when somebody imposes something on me, I get very, very angry. And, Mayor, you know that, we've been friends for a few years, and, we fought all these, increases. You fought with us hand in hand in the past, and now things have changed. We have not lost respect for you, but, Commissioners, you need not to abstain. We need to know where you stand, because next time around, we need to know where you stand. If you abstain, you're not serving the best interest of the citizens of Brownsville. I have a few signatures, probably about 50 from this morning to today. Only one person did not want to sign, because he was undecided. Not he was for the $2, but most of them were against the $2. And they did voluntarily sign all these, they put their address, name, address, and their signatures. And I had one person who did not want to sign. But if you want to impose these $2, let it be volunteer. Let's find out with PUB that we want to take it out or not. Don't impose it on us. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Mr. Cifuentes. Mr. Oresti, please come forward. State your full name.
Roberto Uresti, Commissioners and Mayor. First of all, before I go into my topic, I talked to these young ladies over here, and they said, if you're going to talk against or for the $2, which is the number 2, or it was supposed to be done at that time. They said not to use the public comment. It seems like we had a miscommunication here.
That's fine, go ahead.
Okay, all right. First, the roads, that's what I put down. Eagle Drive, they're still working on that for 2 months. They blame it on the weather. Okay. But sometimes they haven't done anything. School starts in 3 weeks. It's a mess.
It'll be done. No, you can't talk, please, we can't exchange, we have to hear the list.
That's why we're doing it.
We can address it later, but right now we're not to exchange. Address your comments to me, please.
Yes, sir. The road needs to be done in a more adequate and faster way. It hasn't been done. They have only done one section, and they haven't even paved anything. 3 weeks to go to school. You want to see a mess down there? It is going to be a mess. Since everybody's talking about everything else, well, I can add something too. My mother, 80 years old, said this. She wouldn't mind paying $3 or $4 if the money would go to the people that really need it in Brownsville, the elderly, the sick, the children that don't have the medical benefits, and there are thousands of those. The Camille Playhouse has not died. It has never died. Since I was born, that place was built. And I remember going to Ringo Park, and there was no swimming pool. It was a baseball field in 1954. The Camille Playhouse has done a good job. I haven't gone in 20 years. I only gone one time. They do their thing, that's great. I'll speak the rest on the public.
Thank you,
Thank you.
Please come forward and just, go ahead. state your name, please.
Good evening. Mayor, you already know me, and most of these guys, they know me. My name is Alex Resendez. With all due respect, I want to speak about two little things. One of them, I wrote a letter to the editor about a few months back in April, and it's a dream that I had about a flood, that I could not get out of the expressway. The streets were flooded. I went to Port Mansfield. There was a lot of deer in the streets about 2-3 days ago because of the flood. There were deer all over Port Mansfield. Okay? Now my dream came true. Most of the United States and most of Texas is flooded right now, and we haven't had hurricanes. Okay? We're thinking about the $2 fee and this and that and the dogs and the cats, and if a hurricane hits us or if we have a big flood, we're going to be in a jam, believe me. It's not only my dream, it can happen. That's one thing I want to say. So what are we doing for the streets? I want to thank you all for fixing my street, Mr. Cisneros, you all have done a great job. I saw you out there going house by house. The city looks good. The city looks good, you know. And also, I see you have improved your protection now, you know. These guys didn't stand a chance of speaking, you know, because you got policemen all over the place, which is good, you know. I'm not against policemen, you know, but they do scare me a little bit, okay? Okay, now, especially when you're not an attorney, you know. You have here two attorneys. You have Mr. Teoloni and you have Mr. Goza. And with two attorneys and a very smart, intelligent man as a mayor, you all cannot pass or cannot flunk it or whatever. You all don't know which way to vote. Chihuahuas, hombre. I don't have intelligence, but you are insulting my intelligence. Muy poquita, pero me están mandando a tren. I try to figure out two attorneys and a gentleman right here that has done business for years, very intelligent man that he won. All the people are watching us en la televisión. They're watching me right now, and I look like a clown, maybe, como dijo aquel. I hope I don't say the word and come and they get me arrested. Now, the next thing I want to talk about is this.
Your time's up, I'm sorry.
Okay.
Sorry. 2,376,000. 2,376,000. That's what you all are collecting from the service fee. Thank you.
¿Y no pueden cuidar los gatos y los perros?
Thank you.
Mayor and Mr. Trevino,
Just for the record, I think I'm a little smart, you know, I want to be included.
Hello, my name is Cesar Trevino.
Put the mic closer to us,
Chaparro. My name is Cesar Trevino, and I just like to say I approve of all these guys that talk for the fee. I like the statements on the animals, on the Camille Playhouse, on the ambulances. For the amount of money, you can't go wrong. You know, it's the best bargain in town. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Finally, but not least, Mr. Shergo.
Ladies and gentlemen, no, I just did that because they're all gentlemen, right? Listen, I'm here today, and Mr. Reese made a little comment about hurricanes. I'm down here to talk about hurricane preparedness. I believe that we're facing a possible crisis in the future, and I have a few suggestions possibly that you can place on the agenda maybe next time since you can't respond tonight. One of the things I think that ought to be done is we ought to go ahead and start preparing for the hurricane before it gets here. One thing I don't understand, and I've never understood this, and I'm only half smart, and these people behind me are a lot smarter than me, but I think they would agree with me that we ought to prepare, and you know how we could do that? Start preparing and start filling out those sandbags today. Fill out those sandbags today, and I know for a fact that you've got a lot of storage out there at the airport. We ought to go ahead and fill those sandbags out, store them out there at the airport, and you know what? There's something else we ought to do. We ought to go ahead and make a plan to take those sandbags to the voting precincts, so that all these people who live in this wonderful city of ours can go ahead and go to those voting precincts at their local schools or high schools or where they might be, and select and get those sandbags, and we're all going over there to the main central Old Coffee Port Road and have traffic jams, have possible, a panic set in. It would just be better if we had these things filled out, ready to go, and distribute them locally here within the city.
They are.
That's a good idea. Let's do something about it. Let's form a hurricane preparedness committee. Let's
I challenge the mayor, I challenge all the commissioners tonight. Let's place this item on the agenda next week, and let's prepare and make a hurricane committee, and let's appoint a committee to go ahead and make a report on how we can become better prepared. And there's precedent, the county does that. It's done all over cities in the state of Texas. That's something we can do to get prepared. Let's don't wait till the last, like we've been doing for years and years. You know, preparation always, an ounce of prevention's worth a pound of cure. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. Sherwood. Okay.
Hey, roll please.
Item number 4, please.
Item number 4, consideration and action on resolution number 2007-041, updating the Brownsville Citizens Advisory Committee duties and membership.
That's yours, right?
Good evening, Honorable Mayor and City Commissioners. My name is Lisa. I'm the housing manager for the City of Brownsville, Planning Department. Staff has reviewed the resolutions that were submitted and recommends for approval on 2007-041-A.
Okay. Staff recommends, A, then you say?
Yes, sir.
Have y'all looked at the ordinances? Anybody want to ask any questions? Move to approve A. Okay. Can I have a motion for approval?
I guess the question is, what is the difference between A and the following?
A is a revision of both B and C, and A is, it meets all HUD's, rules and regulations. And it also complies with the consolidated plan that we have. It's a 5-year plan for the City of Brownsville. The resolution is basically for, just reviewing the BCAC, duties and responsibilities.
And it doesn't change the administration of that?
No, everything remains the same. We just made it to, A is basically to comply with HUD regulations and to meet our 5-year plan.
You're just making it better to where we're in compliance.
Right,
okay.
because the other ones would, some of the wording would be out of compliance, so, that's the difference.
I move to approve resolution number A.
Motion by Mr. Longoria and second by Mr. Atkinson.
Mayor, one question real quick.
Mr. Cavalier has a question.
Lucy, on consolidated plan, that's separate from this? That's a in-house plan that you all developed?
The consolidated plan is a 5-year plan that we have for the federal funds that we receive, which is CDBG, Home, and ESG. The current plan that we have is the original plan, and it relates to the BC, because the BC is the committee that recommends the funding to the city commission.
But the consolidated plan, is that created by you all, or that was created by HUD and passed down?
The consolidated plan was created by us in consultation with the social services, other housing entities, various people, individuals, and also it compiles the information that was that we received from the public hearings from the BCAC.
Okay, thank you.
And would it still allow for the same allocation of funds for different uses for, such as street paving, et cetera, in the southmost area?
The funding that is allocated to each project, it depends on the recommendation that the BCAC Commission, and...
You're talking about the committee, right?
Right.
Yeah.
The BCAC is the Brownsville Citizens Advisory Committee, and whatever they submit, that they recommend is, and whatever you all approve. But, this includes, and everything that's eligible, that's what they fund.
Okay.
Did I answer your question?
Okay.
Is there any more questions? Okay, we have a motion by Mr. Longoria and a second by Mr. Atkinson. By me. Sorry. Okay, by Mr. Garza then, I'm sorry. Thank you. All in favor? All opposed? Motion carries unanimously. Thank you.
Thank you, Lucy.
Item number 3.
You want to do number 3 or number 2?
Number 3, we're working from down up.
consideration and action regarding allocation of $2 of the $4.50 maintenance fee currently assessed in the Brownsville Public Utilities billing statement.
And Mayor, may I just mention, as was indicated earlier, these are public hearings. So if anyone has not already spoken on this,
This is an action item.
it's also a public hearing as well. After the public hearing is closed, you'll be able to vote on it. But, if there's anyone else who's not already spoken on it.
It's a straight action item. It's
The hearing.
It was intended to be a public hearing. I think that's what this is.
Okay, I can allow people to speak on the issue, so if you want to speak on the issue, please, you already spoke on it, Mr. Orlando Trevino has not spoken. Okay.
Can we make a clarification so they can understand, this is the $2 imposed on the $4.50. The one that we're about to undertake on number 2 is a separate ordinance. This is the ordinance in writing. This is gonna be for a $2 allocation on an existing $4.50 charge.
That the PB is picking up right now for the maintenance.
Yes, sir. That's correct.
Guys' recommendation, this $2 is out of those $4, take 2 from there, so nobody's being charged, and putting it toward the arts so it's no extra charge. It's transferring from the $4.50 to $2 out of the $4.50 to fund those things.
We're robbing Peter to pay Paul.
People do that. That's right, we're gonna make a adjustment.
Come on, I'm trying to get it.
Okay, you have some say, please say.
Yes, I would prefer, Mayor, Commissioners, public, my name's Orlando Carlos Trevino, resident from Brownsville, voter and everything else. I would prefer seeing this, that $2 taken out of the $4.50, because that's something that's already been charged. That other $2, I cannot see, and the reason I cannot see it, I will tell you. You're saying PUB, how about the other entities, like CP&L? None of them are being charged. But I'll tell you who 65% of PUB customers are. That's housing, the poor, the elderly, the people on fixed incomes. They can't afford $2. If you take a look and you see the police department every year, they have those toy drives for Christmas and everything else for kids because the parents can't afford to pay $5 for a toy. But yet you want these parents to go give $2 that they ain't got. $2 times 12 is $24. You cannot buy a pair of Nikes, but you can go to Payless shoe stores and buy a $10, $12 pair of shoes for your kids. Secondly, I have no problems that you take $2, but those $2, I mean, people don't understand the $4.50, they've been paying for years and years. Take the $2 from the $4.50, $2.50 goes into maintenance, and $2 goes into your other projects. But I still say to this day, that people are more important than dogs, and I own one, so nobody can tell me. But if you go down Old Port Isabel Road, there's a black dog that's got mange all over the place, but they can't pick up that dog because the place is already full.
That's not true.
Well, I'm just saying, I drove by there.
And let me tell you something, I don't know if I'd want to be your dog.
Well, sir, you just, I will tell you one thing, Mayor. I will tell you one thing, sir. When a person is speaking in the public, audience, it's a violation of the Texas Open Meeting Act to interrupt. I did not offend you. I was talking about a subject, and I was interrupted.
It's not public comment, it's public hearing.
It is public comment, public hearing. In other words,
you're making misstatements here. You're making misstatements.
No, it's not a misstatement. I can take you tomorrow morning, and I'll show you that dog right there on Old Port Isabel Road. I can show you my dog. My dog's behind the fence.
There's 1,000 dogs running loose. They were running loose before I got elected, Mr. Trevino.
That's right, and there's no room to keep them, correct?
And people call, we pick up pets, so don't think we don't. We do pick them up.
That was been there, and I can show you tomorrow if you want to see it.
I'm sorry, did you call it in?
Yeah, it has been called in.
How do you, did you call it in?
Yes, call it in, Mr. Mayor. And like I said, when I am speaking, I was speaking about a general, subject. I should not have been interrupted.
Please continue then.
Okay. But basically, I'm also looking at the elderly.
I'm looking at the less fortunate, I'm looking at the people with fixed income. That $2 that we're talking about, my mother, may she rest in peace, she was 94, but that $2 used to buy her fruits or whatever, tortillitas, she was 94, she couldn't eat that much. But that $2 would buy her an orange, would buy her a little, apple and stuff like that. The elderly, and I know because I work for the Texas Department of Human Services, those elderly only get $10. They wanted me to investigate one time elderly that were 70 years old on $10 for food stamps and see if they were fraud. I said, you crazy?
Okay,
But thank you very much.
thank you. Who's next? Okay, please come forward, state your name.
Hello, my name is Roman Bettis. Nice to see you all. Good evening. I'm a little bit confused tonight just because of the fact that y'all are going out of order, 3 and 2. So I'm going to try to combine what I was planning on talking on each individual one because I was hoping y'all would give everybody an opportunity to speak on each individual item. The fact of the matter is, I truly, Commissioner Garza, I appreciate this idea of doing the $2 and the $4.50. It's a very great idea. Except the problem is I foresee in the future, and I'm not this genius guy, but I foresee that this idea of doing the $2 will cause some problems for our finance director. He's going to have to find a way to make up for those $2 loss that you all are going to be putting in and taking out from this $4.50. What that's going to do is going to be increasing our taxes. We all know this. That's what you all want to do. That's fine. This is a threat, this isn't a promise, but it's going to probably cause some of you all not to be reelected in a couple of years, maybe in 4 years. The fact is, you all haven't even looked at what the appraisal district is giving you all. You all don't know if the appraised values have gone up and you all can keep the tax rate at the same rate. You haven't figured that out yet. He has. You all. We have. You have?
Yes.
Oh, okay, because he said last week you were all going to have to take about 2 weeks to the August 7th meeting. I'm glad you all have that information. But the thing is if you all have to increase the rates, you're going to have some problems there. But here's a solution. Here's a smaller solution. I was figuring that if you all were to do $2 for the next 2 months, each month get $4 from each individual person that uses PUB, that's 44,000 people. I was figuring about, I don't know, like $180,000, somewhere around that figure. Why don't you all use some of the excesses in the general fund, take it out, and use it for those issues that you all truly believe in, and wait till the budget comes out, and focus on that, if that's what you all truly believe. But I have a small problem with that, is because you're all focusing on 2 cultural issues. Last week when we had the rains, I happened to be at the historical Brownsville Museum, and I loved it because they have this baseball collection that Rene Torres is doing, and it rained, it poured. Water leaking from that beautiful roof. Water leaking like crazy. I had to put trash cans to get that water out. I saw little boys with swimming trunks pushing a Mustang out of the water because it kept going down. Now, I would appreciate y'all maybe focusing some of that money, not just on 2 entities, but more entities as well, so that everybody can get a little piece of the pie. And also maybe focus a little bit on drainage. I know y'all are doing a great job. I know the Public Works Department, I've seen that little ad on Channel 12, I don't know how many times a day, and y'all are doing a good job, so I appreciate it. But really think about what these $2 are really all about, and that's also to increase our taxes. Let's think about it, spend some of the money we already have in the budget right now, and then focus on it next year. I hope you all really think about it, not just nod or smile or smirk or anything like that. Really think about it. You all have a little bit of time to discuss, and I hope you all discuss it very well. And I'm pretty sure everyone in the audience appreciates you all thinking about that. Thanks.
Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Pettis. Mayor, anybody else on the issue? Anybody else that wants to speak that has not spoken? Wait a second, first let me give those who have not spoken and want to speak. Okay, please. On the issue. Anybody else wants to speak that has not spoken, please line up over here. Okay. I want to give everybody the opportunity who wants to speak.
Hello, Mayor and City Commissioners. My name is Maria Castillo. I'm from the Southmost area, and I'm kind of confused. Is it you're going to impose $2 more on the $4.50 fee that you're charging, or you're going to take it out of there?
Take it out of there.
Okay. I think that sounds better. I'm against your passion for animals, so do I. But I think there are other alternatives the city could use. Make it a choice. you know, but this is a good idea. This is a beautiful city. It has a lot of potential. It has a lot of issues. Like in my area, a lot of streets need fixing. They don't get fixed. The drainage problem,
Your street
the
got approved
homeless.
last week.
We're talking about La Quinta, Fiesta, Duque,
They got approved last week.
and, 30th Street, southmost, the entrance there. I mean, it's horrible.
Ms. Castillo, there's a lot of issues.
Yeah.
I mean, they're already on the list of being paved.
Yeah.
And also a lot of, actually, there's a lot of demand and no funds. Some people think we have lots of funds, but we don't. So we have to prioritize, and it takes time to get to them, but we're trying.
And we need to start looking for other resources to get our funds, okay?
Certainly.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, Ms. Castillo. The next, please. We welcome your public comments. Anybody else who has not spoken that wants to speak, please come forward.
Mayor, Commissioners, I do want to say that I do support the arts. My name is Gabriel Trevino. I'm a local artist. I do want to say I support the arts. I support the Community Playhouse, the Brownsville Museum of Fine Arts. Of course, the issues with pets, with the animals, and the ambulances. But I do not seem to support the tax on PUB. It doesn't seem fair because there is more citizens that do not have that service, but yet why only the PUB is the question that I keep on asking myself. You know, why is it only the PUB customers? I am a PUB customer, and okay, let's just say that, you know what, go ahead, $2 is not, you know, like many of us say, is $2 is not, it's not a lot of money. You know, anybody can fork out $2, but my concern, or, you know, since it is PUB is being used as an outlet for collection, and is the Community Playhouse, Brownsville Museum of Fine Arts, will they use that as an outlet for information for the customers? When we receive statements, will we see what the money is being used for in detail of a distribution kind of, and not just, $2 maintenance fee, but monthly updates of what it's going for. And I think if, as a PUB customer, I would be happy to see, well, this $2 is going to this, you know, for, we bought the, you know, like updates, monthly updates, I guess, overall. But like I said, I do support the arts. I want to say that, you know, I'm for $2, but not through the PUB outlet. I just want to say that. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, somebody else, please? Thank you, and we welcome your public comments.
Hi, I'm Carol DeMoss, Director of the Brownsville Museum of Fine Art. First, I want to thank everybody here for their insight and what you're doing for the city. I know there's a lot of agencies that want support as we do. One of the things I'd like to say is what's very important about what you're trying to do is will cause a leveraging effect, a partnership with these agencies. And these agencies can leverage that money that's being given so we can serve the community into grants that come in from outside the valley into Brownsville and can help all agencies and help all of Brownsville. And I think this type of thinking is why we've been making such great strides, and I hope it continues. The other thing I'd like to say is I've brought petitions. All of these people support the arts. We've brought copies.
Oh, thank you. How many?
Anyway, we have lots of signers, we have lots of supporters, we have lots of people that would like to see all of these entities. The petition is in support of all three areas of concern. So I just want to thank you for your insights, and thank you for keeping up the good work.
At this time, you receive, I guess the first question I have is the museum is currently located on public property, correct?
Yes, it's
The museum is owned by whom?
the Brownsville Museum of Fine Art.
Okay, so you're...
Profit organization.
No, okay. And you're currently receiving, BIS funds for children's programs, CDBG funds for children's programs, correct?
Yes,
Okay. One of the, comments was made that you were going to provide more children funding, or programs, I should say, from these funds, correct?
Oh, yes,
Okay. Do you have a proposal for how you intend to use these monies?
Oh, yes,
Have you presented that to the city?
No, we've only presented what we continue to do in our, as far as the CDBG, yes, I've presented that. As far as BIS, I haven't presented that proposal. I present that to BISD, but our records are open for any perusal. I'm sorry, I'm not getting the question.
And I guess my question is if we give you more money,
Yes.
because that's what you are the representative of one of the entities that is asking for more money, correct?
Exactly,
Okay. And you would agree with me that there are many other museums and there's many other entities that promote the cultural arts in our community?
Yes.
Okay. And my question to you is, has the Museum of Fine Arts come up with a proposal on how it intends to use these funds for the benefit of the community? And if you're going to present new programs for children, are these programs going to be different than the programs that you're funding currently through CDBG money, which is essentially city money,
Yes.
and BISD money?
Yes.
Okay. And have you put that in writing so that we know how these monies would be distributed?
No.
Okay.
I will be
So at
real
this
clear.
point, okay.
I think that's a question, because I think the fund...
I think I've got the floor. I'd really like to continue my question, because I really would like to
Commissioner,
fund...
one of our goals has been, if we can afford it, if we can find sponsors, we would like to let every child in the museum free of charge.
Okay, and that's another question that I have, because a lot of the concerns that we're trying to promote the arts for underprivileged children.
Yes.
And so we'd want to make sure that if there is going to be any funding of a program, that there would be a proposal. Would you be in support of a cultural arts district? I believe there's currently one.
I think we already have that's the Midi Cultural District. We are a member of the committee, and we are in support of that, and we are partners with that organization. We support about 6,000 children, at-risk, underserved children a year, free of charge because of the grants we bring in from outside of Brownsville.
Okay. And at this point, are you paying utilities for the city?
No, we are receiving $15,000 from CDBG, and that's for a satellite program we have at Southmost Library, 4 days a week, and we have arts and crafts there with teachers 4 days a week, and that's where it goes. We do not make money on that program.
No.
This indication of what we want to do. The Brownsville School District gives us $12,000 a year. We have several shows for them, teacher in trainings, catalogs, and things like this. So.
Are there a lot of kids benefiting from that thing?
Oh, yes, our especially right now, we've had to send additional crew that are not paid for at all out of CDBG budget to back up our support there.
How many kids?
Oh, I want to say 400, we're getting about 40 a day now. We're there 4 days a week, and then on special events. And we're getting ready to talk to the library about doing a special program with digital technology, where we received money from Texas Commission of the Arts that we want to take there.
No, if we don't approve these, how would it affect those programs?
Those programs will no longer exist.
Well, and I guess my question, which is, if you're going to be asked, then I'd like to see a proposal for the use given without any idea how it's going to be used. Would you be willing to provide quarterly statements to us and show us how those monies are going to be used?
Yes, and we have invited the city manager to come look at our books at any time, to anything we need to do. We need a partnership with the city. We need to do our job and provide the community with our art. Yes, sir.
I think it's because first we need to pledge to give you the money for operations and maintenance and to grow. As a community, we are growing, but we're not evolving, meaning that our community may grow in numbers, but we're not offering our community nothing as far as in the arts and plays and stuff like that. You go to other communities and you see that it's part of the community and it's very vibrant, and it's also considered economic development. So
and those are usually funded through the hotel and motel tax.
Yeah, I know, and I think what you're trying to do is here, just put in obstacles here, because the thing is, if you give them the money, then they can budget depending how much money they get.
But in most other cities, what happens is...
Let me finish, Commissioner, would you please be kind enough to let me finish? That way they can budget and make plans as to what activities they can program or incorporate into their existing budget, curriculum or whatever. And then it's up, it can always be open to us to review, and if you're doing a bad management of the funds, we're not here to tell you how to manage your funds, at least in my point of view. We're here to give you the funds so you can grow, okay? To expand, to make sure our community is exposed to the arts and educated and made part of the arts, as it should be. Because like I said, we need to evolve. We can't just grow in numbers. We need to grow socially and culturally. And I think that was the intent, but if the commissioner wants, I think none of the entities would be against giving the commissioner a detail, or you can be part of oversight of these entities if you care to do that, or micromanage them to where you can get the books a monthly report, a quarterly report, if that's what you want. I think I don't think they have anything to hide. And
I don't think that's my point. I think my point is...
I don't think they're gonna miss the money, you know.
No, I think that what the position is here is that we have the Museum of Fine Arts, we have the Children's Museum, we have the Costumes of Americas, we have the Historic Brownsville Museum, we have the CFA, we've got the Camille Leitner, we've got the Zoo, we've got the Brownsville Society of Performing Arts, we've got the Brownsville Convention and Visitors Bureau, which all promote tourism in the community. We've also got the Brownsville Historic Association, we've got the Stillman House, and we've got the Brownsville Heritage Museum, and all of these entities promote Brownsville. And all of these entities would like to be able to participate in funding. And I think that if we look at other communities such as Weslaco, McAllen, San Antonio, San Benito, they have a cultural arts department where people can submit proposals for funding, and those people can then get grants from the city based on the proposal. They can get matching funds. They can apply to the Texas, the TSC, and they can get more funds there, and they can actually qualify for federal funds as well, depending on the quality of the grant writing. So there are funds available, and there are ways of doing it, and most of these organizations are also paid for through the hotel and motel tax instead of through PUB or public utilities bills. And that's kind of my concern, is that why don't we lump this together where we can have people participate and we can see which are the best programs to fund, and if we've already got something that overlaps, well then we should acknowledge that. And I think that the Museum of Fine Arts is a wonderful organization. I think that it needs to be promoted, and I think anything that we do where we're on a limited budget, we're going through a budgeting system here of meetings, and Pete Gonzalez has said that we have restricted funds. If we're going to turn over monies to somebody, whoever it may be, whether it's the fire department, whether it is the animal shelter, whoever it may be, that we need to know how those funds are going to be used so that we can best serve the community. And obviously, we want to promote the Museum of Fine Arts, obviously want to promote any of these other entities, including the Camille Leitner Playhouse. But what I'd like to see is a proposal on how the monies are going to be used before I vote to distribute those funds, just like when you buy a car. You sit there and say, this is the car I want, and this is what I'm going to pay for it. It's that simple.
And Mayor and Commissioners,
Let me make a comment. I agree with what Commissioner Triani is saying, Ms. Demas, and all we're asking is that if you're gonna ask for additional monies, that we'd like to see where it's gonna be spent. Nobody's saying that we wanna know exactly, where you're gonna apply the money, but just you're gonna spend it, and I think that makes it fair for all.
Accountability is what we're looking for, and a quarterly report to me is nice.
Well, let me tell you something, you put this on the agenda, and it talks about the Museum of Fine Arts, it's the multicultural district, right? If we're gonna approve this $2, it's gonna go to the multicultural district, to where it does include all the arts.
The Commissioner's right. And first, let me tell you something. As mayor, I have an obligation, okay? Because I come in contact with so many people, I'm exposed to much more than the average citizen. And I pick up what is out there. And as mayor, I have an obligation to bring back and try and find solutions to it. And this that was proposed to the table, and at that time, I welcome everybody in the commission that if they had a better alternative, to bring it. So far, they haven't.
I did
let me finish. But Commissioner Triani, if you want to be the chair of the committee to oversee all these entities you mentioned and find funding for them, I'll appoint you the chairman. You have all these great ideas, you're the chairman. You find the funding for them, okay? Okay, but in the meantime, we're talking about $2 right now for these three entities that I brought to look for, there's others. I'm gonna propose a solution for the zoo, for the children's. I'm looking for different ways to meet those needs instead of ignoring them. Because we can easily sit here and put obstacles, we can easily sit here and give lip service, we can easily sit here and just be status quo. We need to move forward. We need to find a way to where we evolve as a community and offer our children something to do and grow spiritually and also culturally.
One thing I want to point out is we're talking about the other entities, and I respect all of them. If you'll notice, some of the directors from the other entities are petition in support of us. They know it's needed. They know this is something that's happening, this is coming. It's going to be good for all of us. And we're delighted you started with us and the Camille Playhouse, but our people that people would think are our competitors, they signed the petition for us because they believe in this so strongly. And I don't think anything speaks more than that. And this is very necessary, it's very needed, it's an immediate need for some of these entities. Yes, sir.
The way he's proposing this $2 out of the $4.50 to go to a mini culture district, and it goes to all y'all. Well, does that help y'all, or does it hurt y'all?
What happens is the way the mayor has proposed it, where it goes to these entities, it helps. If we try to do everybody at one time, everybody loses. If we cut the pie into so many sections, it won't work.
It won't work.
It won't work, unfortunately.
Everybody knows. Everybody knows that.
That's what the,
You know, and I wanna make a comment about what I've heard today when the public's been speaking. And I think Commissioner Triani made the motion the last time, and I seconded it, and it died on this commission to have it voluntary. You know, I would volunteer to pay the $2. That was brought up to the table. It was voted on. Commissioner Triani brought it up. I seconded it. I think Commissioner Edward Camarillo voted in favor of it, and it was turned down. I think that's a great idea. I've been hearing that a lot from a lot of people. I think that might have to be brought up. Because I don't know if people know that the $4 and the $4.50 for the maintenance fee, it's currently being used, or it's going to, correct me if I'm wrong, Charlie, to Public Works. See, we need to understand that, the consequences for our actions. If we take $2 from the $4.50, that's gonna hurt our Public Works. Is that correct, Charlie? Correct. Okay, so a lot of people don't realize that. They think that, they don't know where the money's going. They have a, Pete, you can show us, right? But we're gonna correct that, Commissioner. Being applied? Commissioner, we're gonna correct that when we do budget proceedings. Well, we're in the budget. We can make it, okay, not everybody at one time, not everybody at one time. We can make this
I want to be excused. I mean, we really appreciate your time. We don't want to keep you up here for us to argue over this.
That's fine, and we will be glad to provide any reports we
Thank
like
you so
to brag
much.
about what we're doing.
Thank you for your time.
Thank you. What Commissioner Cisneros said, you know, there's truth to that, but there's two proposals here, and you know, it's not just one, so there's two proposals, so we all have, whatever the commission feels comfortable with. I asked the commission to bring alternatives, and we welcome, Commissioner Rivas' alternative, so, you know, it's good. Mr. Resendez, please come up.
I'm gonna get the same time she did?
We took up the time, Mr. Resendez. Well, on that, service fee, on the service fee, I have a lot of people that call me and we talk. I belong to different groups, and most people don't know what the service fee that you all are charging, which is $4.50. They actually do not know. I don't know myself exactly. I just heard right now that it's for the
Public Works. It's being used at Public Works.
Okay. I understand that Mr. Garza has been trying to promote or trying to say something about that to get the $2 out of the service fee. That's bringing you all about $2,376,000. That's what I figure. I could be wrong. A year. $2,376,000, or maybe more. I don't know. And the Brownsville Herald and the people of Brownsville, I'm pretty sure that about 90% of them don't know where the service fee is going, ¿me entiendes? Now, Mr. Garcia, he proposed that maybe you all can get the $2 from there, eh? I would appreciate it if you don't get it from the peoples, because $2 million plus another, maybe another $1 million, or 88,000, which is 88,000, you got 44,000, payers from PUB, and for $2, that would be 88,000 a month. So, another $1 million added to that, I think you all could bring, at least 2 or 3 more ambulances, so you could help us when we need the ambulances, you know. With all due respect to Mr. Ahumada, I know he's trying to do things, you know. I don't agree too much on the animals. I mean, I have animals myself, you know, but I take care of them. I feed them and I take care of them, you know, and they cost me money, you know, they cost me money. Pero, okay, you all do whatever you have to do. I mean, I understand that Mr. Ahumada has, Mr. Longoria and Mr. Atkinson on his side, because they always vote on his side, you know. and there's 2 other guys that they're always abstaining. Mr. Camarillo, he's smiling, but he abstained, you know. I feel that if you want to abstain, why don't you just stay home and call, I'm going to abstain, you know, and tell the voters that voted for you all, you know. Mr. Camarillo and my friend, I voted for you all, I helped you all, I backed you all 100%, you know.
Ellis,
but
you're out of order.
people call me.
Mr.
But I'm sorry.
Let me ask you a question.
Let Mr. Longoria tell me.
Mr. Vicente, let me ask you a question.
Yeah.
There's a need here, obviously. I mean, the arts are having a very difficult time.
Yeah.
And if you have any questions, just go there yourself and find out, but, they're having a very difficult time. The state also mandated that in case we have a hurricane, we have to evacuate the owners with their pets. We can't leave them behind.
Yeah, I understand.
It's a law, it's a law.
Sure.
And there's no funding, okay? And also the danger of having a health hazard, because there's so many pets running loose.
Sure, okay.
We need to educate our people, because it's a culture problem, about spaying, neutering, vaccinations, keeping their pets, like yourself, being a responsible pet owner, keeping them in there, okay? And again, also, because another health issue, we get, let's say, a disaster hurricane, and we have all these pets, dead carcasses out there, that's gonna create another health problem. There's so many reasons why, there's need, the need is there. This is not just about pets. This is about the arts, public safety, and pets, okay? So, but the need is there, okay? You believe, I'm sure you agree the need is there, but you just don't want to fund it under any circumstances.
No, I do.
How would you propose that we fund it?
Very, very easy.
How?
You have 2 persons that abstained, and if the people vote, we're in America. We're not a dictatorship that one person votes and you pass it.
So you'll abide by whatever the vote is?
Exactly. Okay. If the people vote that they want it, I'm 100% for you all.
Okay.
But if the people say, hey, we want to know where this money is going to, okay?
That can easily be done.
So do you agree that a voluntary would be a good idea?
Yes, why not? Sure. I might even say, okay, I'll pay it, why not?
That's right.
Maybe I can pay it.
But you're vote on it, let the people know where you stand, one way or the other, and you respect whatever the vote is.
Exactly. I cannot respect when the people are getting billed for $3 million, okay, and they don't know where the money's going to.
Mr. Resendez.
We had $20 million in the water port that got lost, not even a brick.
You answered my question, thank you.
Mr. Resendez, you called me a couple of times and we spoke about this issue.
Yes,
and
sir.
I explained it to you.
Yes. I thought it was good.
You said it was a good idea.
Yeah, but this gentleman right here said that it's gonna go from, you're gonna get it out of the...
Which gentleman, Mr. Kepler? Or Mr. Gonzalez?
No, Mr. Kepler just said that goes to the funds of the streets or something.
For Public Works.
Public Works.
Okay.
But it goes to the general fund, and from there, they fund those.
Okay.
That's why we're gonna go and look at the budget, and we're gonna have budget proceedings, and we're gonna make the adjustments.
I want you all to do the right thing, ¿me entiendes? I don't want to take it from there.
We will make adjustments.
Okay.
Thank you, Mr. Resendez. I appreciate your candor that you...
But you do know you did not give me as much time as that lady, eh? You do know that, but
Thank you, sir.
And that's in violation of my law.
You have some reserve for next time.
I would like to know why Mr. Longoria said that I was out of order.
That's okay, it's okay.
I don't know.
Thank you so much. Take care.
That's weird.
Thank you very much, Mr. Resendez. God bless you. Okay, Ms. Laney?
put the mic a little closer to you so you can be heard, please?
Lavis Laney, I'm with the Brownsville Society for the Prevention of Cruelty to Animals. I, first of all, want to thank you all for approving the no-kill policy for the shelter. I think this was a milestone for Brownsville, and there's been some criticism, but there's also been an awful lot of praise for you guys. Some people have referred to it as a miracle, and I want to thank you for making that miracle happen. In order to continue that miracle, I think we do need some funding, maybe more than we have now, and I thank you for, in the past, approving the additional money for animal care, the animal shelter. There is a great need, I think, for more money. We want to finish the clinic, and already construction has started on that to finish it out. We'd like to see a veterinarian there, and I think some discussion is underway on that as well. We need more medical care for animals that are being housed there. Some get sick and die just because there's no medicine available. And if we had veterinary care available there, I think a lot more would survive. The shelter is not jam-packed, contrary to what the media has reported in some cases. One animal is being held per kennel in most cases. It's true there's not a lot of extras available. I was there on Friday. I saw 2. I have been there in the past and seen as many as 20, but I know that's just because euthanasias have just been done. We're hearing about reports of stray animals on the streets. Well, we've had stray animals on the streets ever since I've lived in Brownsville, and I moved here in 1980. We need to make this work, and we need more money. And part of the solution is to spay and neuter, to reduce the population, to reduce the pet overpopulation through spays and neuters. It would be nice if people would just voluntarily not let their animals breed. There are many things we can work on, and we're trying to do that. We're trying to promote adoptions. The mayor has been at the flea markets on the weekends, along with some others of us, trying to promote adoptions. And we've had a lot of people come through. Most of them don't even know where the animal shelter is. Does not have a visible sign. It's not visible from the expressway. We need to do a better job of promoting the shelter. We finally have a beautiful new shelter, and it took 15 years to get that shelter since the bond issue was passed to raise money for it. But I encourage you to continue to support the efforts. I hope that you will approve the funding, whether it's out of the maintenance fee or an additional fund. And I thank you for your support so far, and I hope you will continue it.
If this is approved, what's going to happen to your efforts? To the organization's efforts? What will happen?
I think animals will continue to die unnecessarily.
We'll go back to killing 1,000 pets a year instead of
The moratorium fails, yes, I think that'll happen. And we're not even sure that's an accurate figure. That's a figure that I think you quoted in your campaign literature.
I got it from the... but also, immediately, if this passed, we can hire a vet that we need in-house in order to neuter and educate people and make it affordable for people to adopt. Is that right?
That's right.
So that's a key issue right there alone.
And let me remind you that there is a link between animal abuse and human abuse. Where you see one, you quite frequently see the other, and there's an organization in the Valley dedicated just to that purpose, meets once a month. Please think about that.
Ma'am, with your organization as well, have you submitted a proposal as to how you're going to use the funds if you're actually funded by the city commission?
Good idea. Okay, let me clear that up. The BSPCA is not a part of the city.
Well, I understand that, but you're asking for city funds, so I'm asking, have you presented...
County Capital will be in charge of these funds.
We're a volunteer group. We try to...
It's all volunteer.
Okay.
Yeah. We don't administer the funds. We do our own fundraising to try to care for animals as well. But we don't get money from the city.
Thank you.
This will be in the senators.
I have some... What effect, Mr. Mayor? When I make my motion.
Okay. Thank you, Ms. Lee. Laura, please come forward.
Good evening, everybody. My name is Laura Snyder, and I'm also from the BSPCA. I'm definitely in favor of the charge of the $2. Originally, it was going to be $3, and, well, $3, originally meant 10 cents a day. And 10 cents a day, I mean, let me remind you of the words of some people. I was here in one of the meetings, and they said, well, if people, regardless of their income, fixed income, but nowadays, everybody has a cell phone, everybody... Well, not everybody, but a lot of people smoke, a lot of people drink, and if they can do that, I think they can afford to invest, because actually, the current, $2 is, if we take it as an investment, our city is growing, and it's a beautiful city. And if we take it as an investment, the $2, well, those $2 are gonna go to three very great, wonderful projects, and these projects are gonna give fruit. I mean, they're gonna be very redituables. I mean, they're gonna be very, very prosperous, and they're gonna give more income, and are gonna attract tourists to the city with this, the museum, and, well, that's one thing that is gonna attract tourists to the city. But one thing that is badly needed at ambulances, definitely, and education for the people to care for animals. The things that you are doing and have approved so far about the shelter are great, and let me congratulate all of you. I think it's great what you have done, but I think we can do more. I think we need, regardless of where the funds come, they're not going to fall from heaven, definitely, so they need to come from somewhere. I'm not the expert about budgets. I'm not I think you have more knowledge of where those funds are, the most convenient way for them to come from. But definitely, please don't forget about these projects. The animals also need a lot of support, and not only the animals, which are our beloved, they depend totally on us, and they give us their friendship unconditionally. But not only that, I mean, it's also education of the children. The children need to grow with the image, a different image, not of pets, dogs or cats running all over the place, loose in the city, covered with mange, unfortunately, sometimes, or they were ran over, or starving to death. I mean, that's not a clear image. That's a healthy image for children growing. Definitely, we need to do something, and you said it, and you are doing great. But like I said, I think we need to keep working. And this miracle that is happening is not going to happen, like I said, with no funds. We need to keep working, and I go for it. I think a day, which is $2 a month, 44,000 houses. I mean, what is that? It's nothing for an investment. It's going to give us an improvement to the city. It's going to give us healthier city. And definitely, like I said, the animals need our help. They are our most unconditional friends. They need us, and we need definitely to take care of them. We need a healthier city in that respect.
Thank you, Laura.
Thank you.
And then we're going to cut it off at Mr. Ruiz. I'm going to give you a little extra time, Mr. Ruiz.
Good evening. My name is Roy Gonzalez, and Mayor, Commissioners. I think the main issue is how to appropriate the $2. We've got an entity called BUB. I think that's fine, but have we solicited Magic Valley, CPNL, all of these entities that use our lines, our poles, they exchange with PUB. One neighbor that I have is CPNL, and I'm PUB. I'll be paying it.
If we could do that, Roy, we would be doing it with the other main city.
Well, my suggestion is, this $2 can be negotiated. I know John Herrera with Magic Valley, and he lives in Brownsville.
Right.
And he is a super guy. If we could have our city manager contact this guy and sit down and say, hey, look, we're doing it with PUB. This would encompass everybody that lives in Brownsville, and it stop this thing, and we get our $2, and you can use it whatever you want.
Okay.
So that's my suggestion, that you need somebody to sit down and negotiate with these people. And you guys obviously have the talent to do so, or appoint someone, because all it takes is for them to say, okay, this $2 at PUB, we need for you to do the same thing to our customers that live in Brownsville. Take those $2 and put it in there, and you can do it voluntarily, because then you have a mass, and then it can be voluntarily. You can't do it voluntarily with just PUB. Okay.
Right, I spoke at Rotary where Mr. Herrera was at, and he indicated they wouldn't do it, but let's say we do it, or he doesn't do it, CPNL. Would you be against ours, irrespective what they do it? Would you be against it?
Well, again, you're putting the burden on 44,000 people, and is that fair? As my neighbor's CPNL, and I live on Draper Drive.
So consequently, and you're my commissioner, right? Consequently, you know, I feel that I'm being burdened, and he, you know, is scot-free.
What about the suggestion that Mr. Moises Gonzalez made, that you have the option to write a letter and say, I don't want to be on there?
Well,
Would that be okay?
that's an option that will, you know, ultimately come from you guys.
But would that be okay with you, though?
Sure, but it's the same thing as voluntary.
But I mean, let me ask you, would that be okay with you? The $2 would then be okay with you?
Well, sure, you know, then you find out who really, but I mean, if you really want the funds that we really need for the arts and the different entities for EMS, by the way, the first EMS ambulances was actually solicited by yours truly with each bank that was in Brownsville and that was brought in here back in the 80s. So, being involved with the community all this time, the arts, Sombrero Festival's an art, by the way, and so is Charo Days. And we don't solicit directly from the city. But I think you need to include, the inclusion of everybody is more important than just the 44,000 people. That's why you're having a lot of negative, is because you're putting the burden on 44,000 people.
The other side of the coin is, to raise taxes. Would you support raise taxes to fund all these programs that we talked about here?
Well, you know, that's an issue that everybody's real sensitive to, you know.
Okay, so you wouldn't support that, okay. And let me ask you this, if you look at it from the other point of view, is that, yes, you're only targeting a certain market, PUB, okay? Because that's the easiest one to collect, right?
Sure.
Just like the area mains fee. But you're targeting also renters who don't pay property taxes, so they contribute something back to the community, okay? They contribute something back to the community, which they normally don't because they're not property taxpayers. Don't you think that's evening the playing field a little bit and maybe making up for the fact that we're not targeting those outside the PUB?
I think what we need to target is the entities that need funding. That's our target. Our target is to serve these entities. And in order for these entities to be equitable for everybody, you need to see if you can get to Magic Valley and CP&L. And then everybody would be inclusive, and then you can make it a choice. Then you can make it volunteer or a letter saying, look, I don't want to give you $2, man. You know?
Thank you, Mr. Gonzalez, I appreciate your comments, thank you very much. Okay, Mr. Reese. Really?
The persons here, commissioners and mayor, we are talking about $2. The future of your children, grandchildren, and great-grandchildren have been compromised by the federal government. In government, we have the federal, we have the state, county, and city. Here we have a mayor that comes up, and look at the people that he has brought here today. This is beautiful. This is what government is about. This is what the process is about. To you participate, to hold them accountable. And that's what government is about. I salute the mayor and also the commissioners, because it takes a team to get things done. And what gets things done and started and to develop our ideas. The idea that the mayor brought up is something that has to be emotional and you have to be concerned about. I wish that someone here listening to me can donate some land. And I, sir, will offer my services free gratis to develop a place where dogs and cats and animals can call their home for free. I'll do that for free.
Thank you.
And we have to understand.
Thank you, Mr. Reese.
We need all of you to come back again, to participate, because this is what closes the circle. Accountability. After you vote, your candidates in, the people you selected, then you have to hold them accountable. And you do that by attending the meetings and coming with them and celebrating this thing so beautiful that's called government, which we are.
Thank you, Mr. Thank you. Mr. Reese's point that, it's not easy to be a leader. A leader
have to give directions at the pace. And sometimes there's people who don't want to follow because they'd rather be leaders. And yet, you know, everybody has that opportunity to do that, and I welcome them as leaders to bring solutions to the problem. If they don't have a solution, then we should look and unite to make it better. Because if it's better, if it's good for Brownsville, if it solves a problem, and everybody's gonna benefit from it, we should unite and make it better for Brownsville. We raised the issue, the fact that the issue's being debated is healthy, okay? We may not agree, but at least the awareness has been raised in the community to make you aware of the problems that we're facing and have to make decisions on. But I welcome everybody to offer alternatives, and if they have a better one, I'm willing to entertain it. Leo here brought this alternative, and it's going to be voted on, but at this time, I would like to close the public hearing. Thank everybody for speaking out.
Gonzalez come up?
Pardon me?
Can we have Pete Gonzalez from the,
Sure, okay, that'd be good.
and have him kind of tell us how...
Mr. Gonzalez, okay?
I was gonna ask that.
Thank you.
Mr. Gonzalez, come up.
Mr. Gonzalez, you want to speak here? Okay.
Loaded question.
May I, Mr. Gonzalez, you and I spoke about this issue at length, I believe. And, my question to you was, if my proposal passes, with your, and first of all, let me commend you. You're the best thing that's ever happened to the city of Brownsville. You're a great finance director. Thank you for your service. If we take $2 out of the $4.50 that we have been collecting for 20 years, and if we wait until October 1st, when the fiscal year begins, that's going to give you and us and the whole staff, Mr. Calvert, all of us, an opportunity to sit with you and look at the budget for 2007, 2008, and we can make some adjustments. People were saying that if we take $2 out of the $4.50, it's going to affect the public works. I had a citizen to call me this morning and said, Mr. Garza, I understand that the $4.50 is for street sweepers. He says, I've never seen a street sweeper in my neighborhood. Now, I don't know how many we have. Maybe we have 2, or 3, or 4. But we have, in 20 years, collected a lot of money, $4.50 per PUB customer, and you have the numbers, and I respect you, and but can you tell me, if this passes, and we assign that responsibility to you, and I am asking, Mr. Mayor, that responsibility be imposed on Mr. Gonzalez and not Mr. Kapler, with all due respect to Mr. Kapler. Mr. Kapler is a great city manager. He's not our finance director. Mr. P. Gonzalez is our finance director. And so, what is your recommendation?
Thank you for your comments earlier, Commissioner. Honorable Mayor, members of the City Commission. I guess my comments is that we start the first public hearing on the fiscal year 2008 budget next Tuesday. That's August 7th. The budget that will be presented to you next week includes all the requests that each department has made to us. And in that budget that we will present to you next week will include the proposed tax rate. We received the tax roll from the appraisal district late last week. We are getting ready to figure out what our tax rate will be. Last year when we did our tax rate, because of the increased valuations that we had, that we actually gained last year, we actually reduced the tax rate by 3 cents.
Are you proposing a tax rate increase?
Well, Mayor, we were following the truth in taxation laws that exist here in Texas. And by following those laws, we were able to reduce the tax rate by 3 cents, from 68 cents to 65 cents, based on what is written on the truth in taxation laws.
And against your recommendation?
we would definitely like, see, Commissioner...
Not you. The tax rate was reduced, okay, against your recommendation. Wait a second, it was against your recommendation. Well, you knew there was gonna be some things coming further down the road that would be needed, the 3 cents. I mean, you're the finance director, you knew this, right?
I would have preferred to have gone with the 68 cents, but let me tell you about...
So, let me tell you what this was. This was grandstanding.
Mayor,
cutting the tax rate for a very short period of time.
We had a healthy reserve, we had a healthy budget. Mr. P. Gonzalez is the finance director, and he always recommends to raise, right?
Yeah, but we dipped into reserves to balance the budget. We dipped into reserves to balance the budget.
About 300,000.
Well, so I mean, what was so great about that?
Budgets are estimates. When you have your final figures at the end of the year, we came up with a better number. Keep in mind, you weren't here last week, Mayor, and Commissioner Longoria wasn't here last week. We went over the financials for the quarter ending June 30th. We also went into the budget for 2007, and we also explained to you the monies that the city receives through sales tax, property tax, fees and services.
I read the report.
All of that comes in. When you prepare a budget, and I mentioned that to you last week, is that one of the major revenue source for the city is the sales tax.
It's on the increase. And
sales tax, I've seen years, Mayor, where our sales tax went down 34%, and that was when, I don't think we're gonna see those years again, but that was in the early 80s when we had that major peso devaluation. It took us 7 years to recover from 82 all the way through 89, 7 years to recover. So I have seen that before in the past, that, and right now sales tax has been strong. And we
hotel tax and the sales tax, there's a slight increase.
We are always hoping that we have a strong economy that will increase our revenues, especially sales tax, because that's our number one revenue source. But when we look at the budget, that's one of the things that we look at. We want to make sure that we have enough funds. And yes, Mayor, you're right. When we prepare a budget, we estimate very conservatively. And again, because of those numbers that we don't know of. We don't know what municipal court is going to collect, Mayor. And that's a number that we use historical information. We go into the past and then look at what we received here, and then we calculate more or less how much we're going to collect. But that is not a guarantee revenue source. The only guarantee revenue source that the city has is the property tax. You know you're going to collect that property tax. Sales tax, we monitor this on a monthly basis to make sure that we're within the budget estimates. Municipal court funds, and I'm using municipal court funds because I'm looking at the major revenue funds that the city has. So, if for instance, municipal court could be down from one year to the next. It depends on how many citations, and also you need to look at the judges, whether or not they'll be able to fine the people. But again, that depends on the citations that are issued. So that's the reason why when we present a budget to you, we want to be as conservative as much as we can, because we don't want to come in at mid-year and say, Mayor and Commissioners, we have a huge deficit coming up. We need to act. We need to reduce costs. So yes, the budget that was approved last year had more expenses than revenues. But every year, like I mentioned to you last week, it has been proven that every time we do this, we're better off, because we are able to maintain the adequate reserves that the city needs to maintain. And that's one area that we have been able to accomplish the last 10, 15 years, that we have enough reserves on hand in case of a major catastrophe such as a hurricane. A hurricane can wipe out your reserves.
So we've been able to keep it at 15%?
We try to keep it at 15%. The budget right now that we have, Mayor, and again, it's very conservative, is around 12%. Yeah. We know very well that we're going to be about the 15% at the end of the year. But going back to what I emphasize is that we have our first public hearing on the budget next week, Tuesday. Here, we're going to present to you all the requests that have come in
from the departments. And believe me, we are not going to be able to fund every request that they have. We're looking at more police officers, more firefighters, and I mentioned those, more EMS people that we were probably not going to be able to fund because we need more revenue, sources. To answer, I guess, Commissioner Garza's question is, it's fine the way but I would rather wait on, Commissioner, with all due respect, so you can see next week's budget.
But you are fine with my proposal?
If we can find another revenue source to replace.
That's
Leo,
why.
Leo,
That's why.
this is your first budget. You haven't been through a budget yet. Listen to what he has to say. I can tell you that by taking these $2 out of the $450, look, the $450 have been there. This is what keeps us from raising taxes. This is what keeps us from having to dig money into the general fund. This $450 is what keeps David Ivory and before him, Carlos Ayala, from having to come to us for more money. This is how we survive at Public Works, by getting streets and projects done. Learn your first budget. Come, sit at the meeting, listen to the budget, and see the effects that it'll have, Leo, because I don't want you to come up for re-election and have to raise people's taxes, and that's going to be very unpopular for you, and you're not going to get re-elected. That's what's going to happen, my friend, because that's where we're headed. If we take these $2 out of that $450, that's what's going to happen.
I'm not worried about being reelected. I want to do what's right for the city of Brownsville, and thank you for your comment.
You're not going to do it by raising taxes, Leo.
I'm not worried about being reelected. I want to do what's right. And, you know, I want to take care of ambulances. You know, my proposal is that we take $2 out of the $450, and for the purchase of ambulances or equipment utilized by emergency medical services, the animal shelter operations for the purpose of improving quality care for the animals, and also for the general operation of the cultural heritage and fine arts, and that you manage this money and you know, take into account the monies that these entities or departments are already receiving from what is it, GBAC or all these hotel and motel taxes, okay? And so I'm not worried about re-election. I'm worried about doing what's right now, and I want to get more equipment for those ambulances. We have 12 ambulances. Only 6 are in operation. Of the 6, 1 ambulance does not have air conditioning in the back. The other 6 ambulances are sitting there because it doesn't have proper equipment, and we don't have the personnel. So there's nothing wrong with taking $2 out of the $450, and what Commissioner Troyani said, taking from Paul to give to Mary, I don't agree with that. We will have those budget hearings, and yes, I'm a rookie, and I haven't looked at the budget, but I know we're going from $105 million to $125 million, and, you know, we're gonna have to get the money from somewhere. So that's something else. My proposal is that this, if approved, goes into effect October the 1st, the new fiscal year. It'll give you time, Mr. Gonzalez, and us, to look at the budget, like Commissioner Longoria is saying, and make adjustments.
Okay,
Thank you.
But Commissioner, if I may real quick, by proposing this, though, you are aware that we will be taking from Public Works.
We're gonna make adjustments. We're not gonna do it now. We're gonna do it the beginning of the fiscal year, October 1st. So it's not going to affect Public Works.
You're missing the concept. You're totally missing the concept.
Well, that's your opinion, Commissioner.
It's not an opinion, it's a straight fact. You have the financial director here telling you.
Said he was fine with my proposal.
Those are comments to me, undirected personally.
Well, anyway, are you fine?
Let's keep it, on the issue, let's focus on the issue, whether to take the $2 out of the $450 out of the area means fee or not.
Mayor, I have
And
a comment.
first of all, let me make this comment, because our finance director knows better than anybody that I've been through this before. I inherited a $1.3 million deficit, and I'm the one that introduced a resolution on building up the fund balance, as you recall, when we had nothing, we were in the red. And I'm the one who introduced the $3 for the area maintenance fee that was grown into $450. So, I've been here. I know how it affects the budget. I know where we were at. I know how we dealt with, being in the red. I know how it was that we couldn't sell bonds to build a library. We made it happen. Do you agree what I'm saying?
We need,
Okay, so you know, we've made it happen, okay?
But we haven't been in the red,
Now, the commissioner here has put a proposal on the table. It's been discussed, and if it fails, we have another alternative, the other one. But he has come forward and put a proposal here for consideration. I would like a motion to close the public
Hold on,
hearing.
Mayor,
I'm not done.
So move.
Mayor,
We have a motion, do I have a second?
May I request to be
Mayor, we're not-
recognized, Mayor? Can you recognize me? I asked you before, and
Okay, I'm sorry, I didn't see.
Okay.
Go ahead.
Thank you.
Go ahead.
You know, Commissioner Gattis, I really understand what you're trying to do and where you're trying to come from. We are rushing the process. We are rushing the process before we even know what's really there and what's not there. Do we want to help everybody? Yes, we do. Can we help more than what we're saying? We may be able to help more once we review what we're doing. We can't jump in. We can't be shooting from the hip. And some of these things have come up, we're shooting from the hip, and that's not the right direction. And so I just want to go on record stating that there is probably a better way to do it. And again, we've been in a rush thinking, well, there's a quorum. No, there's no quorum. We spend time in dealing with all these, illegalities without thinking of the real issue of how we're going to solve it.
Well, Mr. Camarillo,
I think this is what...
I'm glad you bring that up. First, one of the issues is, of course, you're talking about public safety, you're talking about the arts, and you're talking about, the pets and all that. You're on the, animal committee, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay, you've been on the animal committee how long?
I was appointed by Mayor Trevino at the time.
How long ago was that? 4 years ago?
No, I wasn't elected 4 years ago.
Okay. How long?
Probably about a year. Or
A year?
A year or so.
Okay, in that year, you haven't come up with a plan to deal with the problems there at the animal shelter? I mean, your committee, I'm not saying you, I'm saying your committee has not discussed or come up with a plan to deal with the problems. Have they proposed a plan?
In terms of budget monies?
Budget, have they proposed a plan to deal with the problems? Have they proposed a plan? I mean, they had a year there that you've been there, I don't know what's happened before, but have they done anything to make it better?
As ex officio of the committee, Mayor, we have not looked at items that need to go before this commission to move and help the animal shelter. And I will respond by saying that, after meeting with Mr. Thavini, who brought a list of 4 pages long of issues at the animal shelter, a lot of those issues, if they'd been brought to our attention, can be addressed. A lot of them are funding mechanisms. And when we look at our budget, and when we're constantly telling departments, they come and they call me and they say, well, you know what, I need X, Y, and Z. And then we're told, well, you know what, in order for you to get X, Y, and Z, this is what you'd have to do to property taxes to help give them and every other department what they'd request. So it's not a simple solution for the group to think, well, okay, you're asking me for X, I'm going to give it to you. I wish I had the magic wand to be able to do that.
Commissioner, you're on that committee, it's a good committee, go back to the committee, see if we can deal with the problems.
I look forward to working with you.
Can I have a motion to close it? One more thing, hold on, Mayor,
Real quick, just, Pete, I did talk to you, and Charlie, I talked to you, I will not be able to be here on August 7th, so send me all that information, I told you, right, Pete? We talked about that, send me the information for the budget.
Absolutely.
I can study it, thank you.
I just have one more thing, Mr. Mayor. Yes. Please. We haven't done, and I say we because I'm a citizen, and I'm a new city commissioner, so we haven't done anything in 20 years. It's all been going to Public Works, and that's great. But I think it's high time that we do something now, and this is the time to do it. We can make those...
We haven't done anything in 20
No,
years.
I'm talking about
It's been a
the issue here is that the 450, forgive me for making that statement, I withdraw it. The issue here is the 450 has been going to Public Works for 20 years. I'm sure they've done a lot of good stuff, a lot of good work.
Done a lot, yes.
They have.
Okay.
But it's time that we take action on this item and get those ambulances, okay, let's have a vote now.
Pete, real quick question.
Can I have a motion to close the public hearing? Mr. Trianis makes a motion to close the public hearing. Can I have a second by Mr. Cisneros? Okay, we have a motion to close the public hearing. This is an action item. Can I have a motion to, for or against?
I've got a motion to make. I would move to table until after we
haven't voted. We have not voted on the motion to close the public. No, you haven't voted on it.
Yeah, we did.
We did. Well, I didn't vote.
First and a second, Commissioner.
All right.
That's correct.
Then I would like to make the motion, because this is my item on the agenda.
In order to save your item, I'd like to make a motion that we table this until we are at the budget meeting, and then we can address this issue after we've had the budget hearing, so your motion is alive, and if it dies now, you don't have to worry about bringing it back in 6 months.
And Mayor, I'm sorry to interrupt, but we do need to vote on closing the public hearing. We moved.
Oh, we didn't vote on it? Okay.
No, we didn't vote, sorry.
Commissioner Triani? I thought we did, okay, motion, second, okay, all in favor to close the public hearing?
Aye.
All opposed? Okay.
Then I make a motion to adopt item number 3, and amend the city ordinance, which is city ordinance number 2000-856-EE, regarding the existence of $4.50 city maintenance fee that has been in existence for 20 years, and I propose that we divert $2 from that existing $4.50 and apply same to the purchase of ambulances or equipment utilized by emergency medical services, animal shelter operations for the purpose of improving quality care for the animals, and for the general operation of the cultural heritage, fine arts, and that Mr. Pete Gonzalez work with this, and that this be effective October 1st, the new fiscal year.
Can I make a recommendation, Commissioner?
Yes, sir.
Because it'll apply, I think it'd be better if it's said this way, on the,
Are you adjusting the motion, Mayor?
Pardon me?
Are you adjusting the
I'm
motion?
asking him
or-
if he will consider this language. I'm considering if he will consider this language. Instead of saying of additional ambulances, I would rather say for public safety needs. That way the city manager can have a little more discretion as the needs are for public safety, the applies for the capital, whatever. Would that be okay?
That's
Would that be
fine.
okay? And the Brownsville Fine Arts, comma, Camille Playhouse, okay, comma, and the no-kill policy for medical, needs, adoptions, and
I
education.
don't have a problem with that.
Okay. Is that okay?
He's amending, the ordinance, he's amending B1.
Yeah.
That's all he's amending of
Okay.
the ordinance.
Okay, so we have a motion, and do we have a second?
I'll second it.
Okay, Mr. Atkinson, seconds it. All in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Okay, aye. Okay. All against?
Hey.
Okay, it failed. Okay.
Thanks.
Okay, we have another alternative, and that's item 2. Would you please read
Have
that?
public hearing on item 2?
Yes. Well, we have things, so I would say,
It is a
okay,
public
can we
hearing.
have a motion to, first read the item, okay, first read the item.
Item number 2?
Yes, item 2. Now, if we can have a motion to, close the public hearing, because we've already been through there.
Public
That'd be
hearing
good.
and action on first reading ordinance number 2007-1476, creating a special monthly fee of $2 per Brownsville Public Utility Board customer to be divided and dedicated towards the purchase of additional ambulances for emergency medical transport, public safety needs, and the promotion of the fine arts of our cultural heritage and the animal shelter.
Okay. And again, with the which that I said, we've had public hearing on this. Can we have a motion to close the public hearing?
We can have a motion to close.
Okay.
Second.
Second, all in favor? Aye. All opposed? Okay. This money, it's a proposal, but it's new money, and it will be $2 on the, where PB will collect it for this, and the city manager will distribute it.
In addition to the $4.50.
Recommendation. We amend the language on the resolution or the ordinance?
And how would you like to?
Well, what I would recommend that we do is that we make the ordinance or the payment voluntary, that we encompass not just the Museum of Fine Arts, but that we have a Office of Cultural Affairs in which all of the organizations.
No. What I would like to,
Recommendations, because you asked for, ideas, and I'm trying to make. But it's a motion, that's it. I'm asking to amend the ordinance as it's written here.
Okay.
And the first is that it be voluntary. Second, that we have a Office of Cultural Affairs, that we get grant proposals for the funding, and that we have follow-up for the usage of the funds, so that once the goals are met, we can then reallocate the funds.
I'll second that.
Okay, let me, you had made it as a recommendation, now you're making it as an amendment to the motion.
Yes, it would be an amendment, I'm sorry, my recommendation was actually an amendment.
Okay, it's an amendment. Okay,
I'll
so
second
you
that.
have a motion second.
Voluntary.
Okay.
And it's not just that it's voluntary, but that we actually have...
I'm not for the amendment, but, we have to call for a vote. All in favor for the amendment?
Aye.
Aye?
I'm sorry, man, I want clarification on what you're...
Would you like me to
saying.
clarify?
I'm sorry, yes, Commissioner, in terms, are we approving the whole ordinance, or just adding what the Commissioner just...
No, now we're voting on the amendment to the
We're
ordinance.
voting on the amendment.
Make it voluntary, right? And say it again.
One, to make it voluntary. Two, to impose an Office of Cultural Affairs. Three, to get grant proposals for the funds that are going to be dispersed. And four, to have follow-up for the usage of those funds to make sure that the needs have been met, so that then, once those needs are met, we can then redirect funds to other organizations within that Office of Cultural Affairs or Public Safety as needed.
I'll second that.
Okay, motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Nay.
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 What'd you vote for, Caballero?
4-3.
Raise your hand.
Aye.
For the amendment.
For the amendment.
How we can get the money?
Okay. We're done, anything else?
It has been amended?
Yeah.
Okay. Then I would now move to adopt the ordinance as amended.
Second.
I'd vote for the ordinance as amended.
Second.
Aye.
Aye.
All in favor? Aye.
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 Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, can we have a motion to?
I have a motion to adjourn meeting.
Second. Okay, thank you.
Man, you shot me down, man. You know what I'm saying? No, I don't put it in the No, mate, individual. Hey. No, I did this.